My name is Jasper Plaisier. I'm the responsible of the beamline MCX, which is a powder diffraction beamline of Elettra. I started as a chemist, solid state inorganic chemistry. We do nanoparticles, but we also do airplane parts. We do cultural heritage and we do pharmaceutical research. It's an application that you can use in all kinds of different fields. So basically we're a general purpose beamline, let's put it like this. For instance, batteries, which is very much fashion now, of course. And so then we're looking at how the crystal structure of the materials inside the battery is changing while the battery is working. We also look at cultural heritage objects, so vases, whatever. We can put also quite large objects on the beamline. It's quite clear to me because powder diffraction alone is usually not enough, and not anymore, to write an article. You just maybe a very small article about the structure of some new compound, but usually it's a part of a bigger picture. And the bigger picture, obviously, you can get to through CERIC, because very often, like for example with the batteries, you need several techniques to see what's actually happening inside. So with the batteries, we can look at the crystal structure, how it's changing, which is a long-range structure. But at the same time, there's things happening at a short range, which we can't see, but you can see with X-ray absorption spectroscopy, for instance. And so it's very normal to have a combined approach to a problem, to a certain issue. And so CERIC is actually providing exactly this. Also XPS, different techniques that we can use all together to characterize the problem or the solution that we're looking at. Working at home, because I mostly work at home, I'm still going to the laboratory for some small experiments, but that's just a minority of the time. Finally, you have some time to do things you never did before, because usually things like data analysis, the idea is that the user can send in their sample and we measure it for them. When usually it's the case that the user comes, brings a sample and does their own measurements. But in this case, as traveling is completely stopped, we have this mechanism in order to anyway be able to perform some experiments. We opened Fasttrack access both through Elettra and through CERIC to the beamline if there is the request for MCX. XRD can have a large impact. There are more XRD beamlines at Elettra. There are 4 actually. One is a high pressure, which in this case is probably not so relevant. My beamline is powder diffraction, which can be relevant, but usually in a later stage. However, we have 2 single crystal beamlines, XRD1 and XRD2, which actually work on protein structures, so they can, or virus structures, or biological structures, let's put it like this. So they can actually take part now in identifying targets for possible pharmaceutical compounds, and also to see how these compounds interact with these targets, with these proteins, for instance. So right at this moment, there's already a large possible impact for XRD on the coronavirus. As a man, as a human being, I learned the importance of solidarity, which is always a very important thing, but it's something that's showing again these times. From a scientific point of view, I don't know. I mean, you cannot work if you don't have the data. That's one thing, because even I was saying, but it's just an influenza. Not being good informed. So don't say anything until you're well informed. That's what I would say.